The war against gamers is intensifying. With the most recent cultural events, including the election, we have seen overall growth in the animosity between developers and social media and gaming reviewing sites and journalists go against the gamers. And we're seeing a trend of multiple people that have lost their jobs because of the small wins that we have been seeing in the gaming industry, where there is a repudiation of terrible review scores and overall interest in journalists' opinion on gaming. We're seeing the results of that with new games coming out from the East that have more of an aesthetic, action-packed view of gaming, where they're just making games to be fun for the gamers. And there's a growing backlash to that, where we're getting multiple people that seem down and out of the gaming industry recovering and intensifying their efforts to sabotage the gaming industry as a whole. And I think we're seeing this because of what happened culturally and socially with the election, where we have these people doubling down in their efforts to overall eradicate a lot of the foundational people that have been here in gaming since its inception. I'm talking about you, the gamers that have been playing this since you were young as a kid, being kicked out of gaming from people that have never played games and rarely played games even when it became their job to review games. And of course, I'm talking about Alyssa Mercante, who had a strange outlook on what was happening overall in the country with the 2024 election, where someone pointed out that regardless of the election results, we have to analyze what's going on with young men in society today, where they're voting more right-wing and more conservatively. And she pointed out her views on this topic succinctly, saying it all starts with the nerds. And that's what she's been saying all along. And it kind of paints out and says out loud her own main goal of being in the video gaming industry, because of course it's not about actually playing video games, it's not informing gamers about what's a good game, bad game, or anything like that. It's about influencing the culture. And of course, we've seen this with multiple other people that have engaged in the video gaming industry for this specific goal, going back to Anita Scarseason, who went specifically with the goal of shaping the gaming industry to be more conformed with women's rights issues. And we saw her have an effect on the gaming industry by morphing multiple female hero characters into more uninspired characters that we just can't even stand today. We saw this happening with the Uncharted franchise. We see this happening with multiple franchises like Tomb Raider and a multitude of other ones, where they were just diluted and made in such a way where it was supposed to be political, progressive, and more oriented towards what these people want to see in gaming, reflecting their politics and everything they stand for. And I think that is the case of what we're seeing here with a lot of the people within Kotaku and these gaming journalist magazines, where they're stating it clearly. They hate the gamers and they're more focused on changing the gaming industry to fit their political beliefs. Even though this is leading to multiple failures in the gaming industry and studios closing down with layoffs at the gaming journalism websites like Kotaku, The Gamer, and IGN, it's not holding them back, where they have their exit strategy. And their exit strategy has to be Sweet Baby Inc., Kim Belair, and all the activist organizations and consultancy firms that are influencing the gaming developers to produce the content that we absolutely hate seeing in the gaming industry nowadays. And that's what people are speculating after Alyssa Mercante has been fired, or what she says walked away from Kotaku. And this is kind of leading to people to believe that she may have found a job in a consultant agency, and lo and behold, we see her at one of the games companies that is highly influenced by Sweet Baby Inc. and its consultancy services, and she's there immediately after leaving her job at Kotaku. And this is reflective of what I've always been saying about these game journalists, why they're always supporting these Sweet Baby Inc., these political, progressive, activist consultancy firms like GamerX, like Hit Detection, and everything they do to the gaming industry to push it in a more progressive, leaning way. They are doing this because they see job security doing so, because they have job opportunities after they let go by these gaming journalism websites and review channels. And I think this is a situation we're seeing here with Alyssa Mercante. She's gonna go on to do something else with these consultancy agencies, much in the same way Kim Belair left Ubisoft to establish Sweet Baby Inc., that has influenced Ubisoft directly in all their management of the games for the past 5 to 6 years. We're seeing this develop. We're seeing this overall mingling relationship between journalism and consultancy firms as they influence game developers with overhyped review scores for terrible games, and we see these consultancy firms reaffirming these other developers with these fake scores that they're going in the right direction. And this is part and parcel of continuing the aggravation of the gamer base and the player base, even at the detriment of these developers that are going bankrupt following these consultancy firms' advice. And I think maybe maybe some developers are realizing that is the case, because we see Sweet Baby Inc. changing what they're doing and their overall practices, revamping their website and how everything looks on their side, where they're hiding developers working with them right now. And of course, we already have an idea of what developers have worked with them, but they're now hiding and trying to be more discreet with their overall business management practices. And this includes involving another group to actually hide who they are working with. I'm talking about the Powell Group, which is a large activist organization that is oriented towards pushing these DEI progressive values within multiple entertainment industries, and that is their main focus and goal. And they have worked with a multitude of developers, and they have been linked to Sweet Baby Inc. in multiple interviews and many conferences where they discuss this active plan to actually influence the gaming industry. And it's no surprise they're now affiliated with Sweet Baby Inc. in an actual business relationship and contract and partnership, which is showing that they're going to use the Powell Group as their face as they influence a lot of these game developers still with their activist messaging. And this is something where we have to be aware of, where now Sweet Baby Inc. is trying to go in hiding, which is, I think, is a fool's errand, because with any Sweet Baby Inc. game, you immediately know what game you're playing. And I think that's the situation with a lot of games influenced by Sweet Baby Inc. They're cookie cutter. They follow a trope of some half-shaven black woman doing some random boss lady thing in a video gaming universe while being aggressively annoying and maybe highly unattractive. And I think that's the situation we saw with a multitude of games that have come out from Sweet Baby Inc. We experienced this. We know their overall platform is kind of rock solid and very cemented in their ideology, and it's very easy to suss out where they are working with and what companies they are dealing with. So I don't know how they're gonna hide. The only way they can hide themselves if they actually try to produce quality content and good games. If that is the case, then I'm fine with it. If they're producing amazing games now, I'll go, okay, Sweet Baby Inc., you did a good job. You hid yourself and you started making good games for once. And I think that's the situation where it would serve them well to hide themselves, but it doesn't matter if they hide themselves. We know a Sweet Baby Inc. game no matter what. We know there's going to be race swaps. We know there's going to be weak male characters. We know there's going to be boss lady elements. We know there's going to be aggressively annoying characters. We know there's going to be some sort of strong black woman. We know this is what Sweet Baby Inc. does. We know there's going to be a whole lot of LGBTQ content, non-binary, whatever. We already know what you're going to do, so it's hard to hide when you're so easy to see no matter where you go. And I think they wear their flag with pride, and it's hard to hide yourself in a rainbow colored sweatshirt. So that's just my point of view. The war on gaming is continuing on, and it seems like a lot of the players are positioning themselves in different areas because they know they're in a weakened position, but best believe they're still going to continue on with their overall objective of revamping and changing the gaming industry. We just got to be aware of it as gamers, because honestly, wherever they go, we know they hate gamers, especially Compulsion Games. They said it directly. They hate gamers. This is one of the community managers for Compulsion Games saying they hate gamers. So we know where they stand, we know where they're going, and we know what we want. We want something amazing, interesting, fun, cool to play, and they just don't make those games. So it's going to be hard for them to win this war, because we already know what they are and they kind of don't know what we are, and hopefully that remains to be the case. But you leave your comments, tell me what you think. Like, comment, share, subscribe. This is Wagner Knows Why. Catch you next time.